Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. Follow us on Twitter at Boink Studios and check out our Facebook page where you can see all of our projects, past, present, and future. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy's show. Step off.
Hey, what is up? Welcome to the program, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and you are listening to Tom Clark's Main Event. This is episode number 52. 52. It just hit me as 52. That's awesome, right? This is number 52 of the podcast today, and if you are joining us for the very first time, we will bid you welcome. If you're coming back for a repeat visit, we say, hey, thanks for checking back in with us. And to all those involved, we extend to you, as always, the customary laurel and a hearty handshake. Thank you for listening. Thanks for downloading, subscribing, and all that good stuff. Thanks for reading, and hey, thanks for always being there, Doc. 52, man. 52. I could make some crazy DC Comics analogies here, but I'm not going to. You get it if you're a fanboy, and if you're not a fanboy, you don't get it. That's going to be okay, too. It'll be just fine. But 52, man, it's pretty sweet, right? I'm pretty happy about it. Hopefully you are as well. And, man, what a week it's been if you're a WWE fan. Some stuff happening, some stuff going down. We're going to get into all of that right now, actually. Let's just go ahead and get this sucker kicked off and get it underway, shall we? This time, the main event is Shane versus Stephanie and other WWE notes. You thought I was going to say stuff, didn't you? Don't lie, man. You thought I was going to say stuff. I told you I'm trying to change it up, man. I'm trying to be a little bit more professional here. Stuff is just kind of a catch-all word for, I don't know what to call this part of the show, so I'm not going to call it that. I just got notes, okay? They're mental notes, but I got them. I try to do show prep and get ready for you guys and let you know that I'm not here to play around, dude. I'm here to let's do this thing, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully you will get something out of this, and hopefully I got a lot to give you here. Let's just see how this rolls. The title of the show, Shane versus Stephanie. Obviously a reference to what's happening on Monday Night Raw. And I know what you're saying. Tom, brother, pal, chum, compadre, friend, pal of mine. What do you mean Shane versus Stephanie? They're on the same page. They're on the same page, Tom. They're friends. They're brother and sister. The family has been reunited. Well, if you believe that, you'll believe anything. We all know what's going to happen. If you're not on the same page with the rest of us, I invite you to come on board. There's plenty of room. Even though we question your IQ at this point, this whole thing from start to finish, and you can read my thoughts in depth if you would like to on Bleacher Report. I just posted a column a couple days ago in reference to this very topic. Just go look my name up and bam, there I be. So please check that out. But this very topic has been covered by myself and maybe a handful of others. It's not really like making the dirt sheets and rumor mills just now, but it will eventually, because this whole thing, this idea of cooperation between Shane and Stephanie, and everyone's on board and everyone's happy and getting along and we're cooperating now. It's complete garbage. You guys know that, right? It's all a sham. The whole thing's a sham from start to finish. Stephanie McMahon is up to no good because that's what Stephanie McMahon does. She's always up to no good, okay? Because that's who she is. Stephanie McMahon hasn't been a babyface in a long time, okay? 3 years and counting, actually. She'll show glimpses of it, as does Hunter and Vince even, but we all know that they're all running heel. Shane is the only member of that family, besides the grandkids maybe, who's not running heel. And that's debatable. I got a 7-year-old. He runs heel most of the time. I'm just being honest with you. That's who he is. But Shane's the only one. So, but again, because of all that, this whole idea that there's cooperation that they're getting along, that all of it's just perfect. It's a perfect lie. It's WWE's attempt to reel you in, to convince you that, white is black and black is white, when we all know that that's not the case now, nor has it ever been. But they're doing everything in their power to convince you otherwise. Okay, so we all know it's going to fall apart, and if this moment had not happened, maybe no one would be talking about it right now. But at the end of Raw, the most recent edition of Monday Night Raw, we should say, at the end of the program, Shane McMahon, Shane and Stephanie talk. Shane walks off, and Stephanie has this look on her face where she's just kind of staring past, or like staring where Shane walked, and she's got this look. And when that moment happens, that's sort of, the mic drop on this whole debate, this whole conversation. And we all know from that point on that, yes, indeedy do, something is happening. Evil is afoot in the mind of Vince McMahon's, bouncing bundle of female joy. So, here's the thing. As we said before, this can't last. Okay? The idea that Shane McMahon is he's ushering in this new era of WWE sounds great. It sounds awesome. I'm all for it. And if for any of you out there who don't believe that the new era is a real thing, you're crazy, because it is a real thing. It's convenient that they've used the tagline, and they're probably going to copyright it if they haven't copyrighted it already, the new era and all that, because that's exactly what it is. And in any other instance, I would perhaps be telling you right now, hey guys, don't fall for this. This is just a marketing campaign. Nothing's changed. But I got to be honest with you, man. I don't think I feel that way right now, because things have obviously changed. It's not just because the authority's not calling the shots right now. That's not the only thing that's changed. It's the fact that the majority, the bulk of Monday Night Raw is the new guys. It's the newer, fresher talent from NXT. And you know what's wrong with that? Nothing. Because how long have you been waiting? I've been waiting for 10 years. How about you? That's not a Stone Cold reference to John Cena either. I'm just telling you straight up how I feel about it. But some of us have been waiting 10 plus years for something different to happen in that company. We've seen sparks of something different. We saw the Nexus. We saw John take the Nexus down. We saw the elevation of CM Punk. And we ultimately saw John take CM Punk down. And Punk exits the company at a later date. And Bob's your uncle, no more CM Punk. No, the two are not connected. Stop it. I'm not suggesting that John got rid of him. I'm just saying at the end of the day, John won the match. He did. He won. He ultimately won the feud, which made no sense to me at the time. Made no sense to anyone at the time. And guess what? It still makes no sense today. I'm just saying. Okay? So we saw that. We saw the rise of Daniel Bryan, which unfortunately ended prematurely due to his history of injury. Just had to hang it up. Godspeed to Daniel Bryan. He is sorely missed, isn't he? So we've always had this notion that something was going to change, and nothing ever did. It was the same stuff every week, the same gimmicks, the same storylines, the same characters, the same heat. Like Randy Orton versus John Cena. John Cena versus Randy Orton. A tag team match, but it ends up being John Cena versus Randy Orton. Okay, wow, done. Right, okay, seriously? Like, I'm done with this. So, yes, 10 plus years of the same old, caused many of us to sit back and say, all right, man, I got to have something new, I got to have something fresh, I got to have something different. Well, guess what? The new era is giving you all of that right now. You should be happy. You should be grateful. You should be overjoyed. You should be tickled to death. I'm serious, man. How can you not be happy right now? You gotta be crazy. If you're a pro wrestling fan, you're not happy with WWE right now, then you're not a pro wrestling fan. You just shut up, man, because you don't have any idea what you're talking about. Because now we got Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. If the new era gave you nothing but Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, you have to call it success, wouldn't you? You have to say they were going in the right direction. The new era is a real thing, okay? I'm telling you straight up. You can get upset that they market the devil out of everything, but then again, you really can't because they got to make their money. But it's a real thing. Don't be fooled. Don't sit back and say, oh, well, this company just doing it to me again. The company will get you in some way. They will. They always do. They're not getting you here, okay? Because it is straight up the new era of WWE. And that's how it is. And there's no change in that. That's how it is right now. Shane is being given full credit for the new era, and it's a smart move. Did it happen to coincide? I don't know if it was planned that way. If this, hey, we're going to bring these guys up anyway after Mania. So if we work this out with Shane, Shane's going to be there anyway. We'll just put him in charge. And a lot of people had a lot of problems with the fact that Shane lost the match at Undertaker WrestleMania 32, yet he is actually in charge of Raw. A lot of people had a problem with it, including myself, okay? Because I did, because stipulations should mean something in today's pro wrestling world, and oftentimes they do not. And that's a shame, and there's no sense in it, because, you know, for me to care about a pay-per-view or a WWE Network event, whatever you want to call it now, for me to care about Raw or SmackDown, and you've got stipulations, in order for me to care about it during it and after, stipulations have to mean something, okay? When Shane gets control of the very program that he didn't win control of because he couldn't beat WWE's guy, Vince's guy, then that should tick everyone off, and it upset me as well. I like Shane, doesn't make any sense. But if you can get over all that, you can get past it, you can see now, you know, a month later, why they did it. And it makes perfect sense to me. It really does make perfect sense to me. Because again, why not give the babyface McMahon credit for what's happening right now? The new era is a real thing, guys. It's really happening. And be glad, be thankful. Baron Corbin, can I just tell you right now, of all the talents that have come up, we knew Sammy was going to do well. Kevin's been there for a while. We knew Sammy would do well. We knew Enzo and Cass, barring Enzo's injury, we knew they would be on fire on the stick and in the ring. Well, we were right. Straight up. It's a shame that, you know, Enzo's first match at a pay-per-view, after coming to the main roster, bam, he gets hurt. All the best to Enzo. Come back soon, man. We love you. But, you know, we knew those guys were going to be on point. We didn't know about Baron Corbin. I think people expected him to fail or do much of the same, which people were not impressed with much of the same in NXT. Baron's impressed me. I'm not going to lie. I think it's working. He's not getting booed because, oh, this guy can't work. That's not happening. I don't believe so. I think the guy has true heat because he's a good heel, which is a good thing. WWE needs good heels. WWE always needs good heels, man. That's just how it is. Pro wrestling business needs good, viable heels because it's easier to market your good, viable baby faces. One helps the other, and it always has. You can have the best baby faces in the history of the business in your locker room, but if there's no good, viable, relevant, legitimate heels that can draw heat and make fans want to pay to see them get hurt by the conquering babyface, then there's no money to be made, and it's a failing promotion. Okay, that is not the case right now in today's WWE. I feel like they're doing a fairly good job of it. So being heel is very important. Again, I can't say the word enough. Viable, relevant heels are important. Okay, can we all agree on that? Speaking of the heel, I'm jumping around a little bit here, guys. Sorry about that. But speaking of the viable heels, and yes, if you just heard a crotch rocket, you'd be safe to assume that's correct. This is the mobile podcast, by the way. You could probably tell it's a little bit different sound. But we hope you're enjoying it anyway. I'm having fun. What matters is that if I have fun, and then everybody else second. That's a typical man thing to say, isn't it? What a terrible thing to say. I would take it back, but I'm in a pretty good mood today, so I'm feeling a little, you know, I don't know what the word is, but I'm feeling like that. You know what I mean? So I'm not taking back anything. Deal with it. But speaking of good, relevant, viable heels, Stephanie McMahon. She's a heel right now. She's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Because as we said before, the new era is a real thing. Shane's in charge. It looks like Shane in the new era versus Stephanie and the established WWE machine is what it feels like. And pretty soon that will be how it goes because Stephanie's going to turn on Shane quicker than a heartbeat. It will happen, okay? And this whole thing is a sham, as we said before. It's a setup because Shane McMahon's going to get laid out by Triple H. You best believe it. You best believe it. Now, this all goes back to the column I recently wrote for Bleacher, in which I speculated on all this stuff. And I made the comment then, and I'll make the comment to you guys right now, that really what this is all boiling down to, Shane McMahon has been featured, since he's returned to WWE, he's been portrayed as the smart McMahon, okay? He's been here before, he's seen this, he's done this, he knows how the game is played. So it's going to be hard to get one over on him. You get heels to try to fast talk him like Owens, and it doesn't work because Shane's been around the block a few times and he knows how the game is played. So the question of whether or not Stephanie actually be able to fool Shane with a Triple H attack, a Triple H ambush, remains to be seen. I don't know if it's possible, if I'm being honest with you. But honestly, I think that this whole thing is going to come to a head, and I think that Shane is going to end up flat on his back, whether it's at the hands of Triple H himself or at the hands of Sheamus or wherever it is that Triple H sends in to do his dirty work for him, and then Hunter comes in to sort of clean up the mess. But it's going to happen eventually. Because there's no way these two are going to be able to stay on the same page. We all know this, yes? We're all very aware of how this is going to go down, right? Because Stephanie is heel today as she ever was in the past. And can I just say that I'm glad that the moment at the end of Monday Night Raw happened where you got that glimpse of Stephanie where she's looking at Shane, like where he walked off and everything. I'm so glad that that moment happened, if I could be straight with you. And the reason I'm glad is because now they're letting you in on the joke. They know, they're letting you know now what they're doing. And I'm glad. You want to know why? Because for them to expect pro wrestling fans in 2016 to fall for Stephanie McMahon as a babyface after all the heinous crap that the Authority's done for 3 years running, is nonsense, and no one would ever fall for it. No one was falling for it, so now it's proof positive that WWE's like, you know what, no one's buying this. Let's just let them know that we know, and so we all know together. Make sense? Great. Speaking of the Authority, if I may soapbox for a moment, the Authority is the most dominant heel faction in the history of pro wrestling. Didn't like that, did you? You Four Horsemen fans. I'm a fan too, okay? And all you NWO fans, all you DX fans, all you Nexus fans, all you SHIELD fans. People call SHIELD the most dominant faction in the history of WWE. I call bollocks on that one. How'd you like that? Switch it up a little bit. But, yes, I call shenanigans on that one. That's not true. Because the Authority is the single most powerful, most dominant faction in the history of WWE and of pro wrestling. Do you want to know how I know that? Because they've been running for 3 years. You can minus out a few weeks. Was it 2 weeks or something when Sting came back and put them out of commission? That was it. That was it. They're bulletproof. You can't split Stephanie and Shane, or excuse me, Stephanie and Triple H up. You can't do it. It's not happening. Forget it. Not happening. They could play it out in the storyline, but they've shown these two as a loving couple with kids. She does charity work because heels should go out and do charity work and mug for the camera every chance they get. Don't you know that Stephanie McMahon's mug has been in the camera for God knows how long? Well, 3 straight years and beyond. Really? Because they want to push the idea of a powerful woman at the head of a major corporation. I have no problem with that. I never have. I'm not chauvinistic over here. Everyone get over yourselves. No hate mail, please. If you're going to send me hate mail, make it count. Make it good. Make it about something, credible. Not this, what I'm saying right now. What I have a problem with is Stephanie being heel. Okay? Because it doesn't play. Neither does it play for Hunter. Okay? It just doesn't. Don't be heel in front of me and then go run and do breast cancer awareness programs and spots and charity and fundraisers and runs and, donations and public showings, and you're shaking the hands and crying over the kids with cancer. And, God bless all those people doing great work, doing the Lord's work. They really are. But she's heel. Now call me old school. It's okay. I've been called worse. Call me old school and perfectly fine, man. But I just happen to believe a heel should be hated 24/7. Am I alone in this? Am I wrong? We all know kayfabe is dead. Kayfabe is dead in the water, and it cannot be resurrected. Okay, God himself couldn't bring kayfabe back after 3 days, and that's the truth. It's just not possible because Vince just put that crap in the ground, dude. And every time you turn around, they got a shovel burying it even deeper. The talents don't care about kayfabe anymore. They've been told to relax. Am I wrong? Am I so wrong? You mean to tell me that at no point does WWE not say, okay, you could do that? Hey, I want to go to Instagram and post photos of me and Miz and they're feuding. Okay. Because Dolph could do whatever. I don't know, man. And then they get mad when fans call them out on it. Isn't that funny? This whole idea, sidebar, by the way, this whole idea that fans are stupid and ridiculous and nonsense, and we're all reading, you take it too seriously. How about this? You don't take it seriously enough. Now, I'm not saying when you hit the door of your home you have to be in character. I'm not saying that if you go on Kelly and Michael, that you have to be in character. I'm not saying if you go on Jimmy Fallon, you have to be in character. I'm not saying any of that stuff. Okay? What I am saying, though, is if you're a heel, you can go on Jimmy Fallon and still be kind of a heel, kind of a jerk. Do you see what I'm saying? Because it's part of your character. Doesn't mean you can't talk about your family, can't talk about your kids. I'll bend. I'm not impossible to get along with here. Who you talking to? I'm a nice guy. I am. I'm not impossible, man. Give me a break here. All I'm saying is it would be really nice for the talents that work for that company to get back to kayfabe at some point. Never going to happen. It's never going to happen. But I'm just saying, man, it'd be nice to eventually get back to that. But Stephanie McMahon doesn't care about kayfabe. She's running the show. So what chance does anyone else have? Why would you care if you were employed at WWE, if you were one of the talent? Why would you care? Well, you wouldn't. Boss lady doesn't care. Boss man doesn't care. Who cares? Not even the big boss man cared. See what I'm saying? Right. But it just never ends. So now, again, we're supposed to believe she turned over a new leaf. Now, let me get this straight. Shane comes back. Even though he does not win against Undertaker, Triple H falls to Roman on the same night. We all knew that was going to happen, right? Triple H has been seen since then on WWE programming, but his wife sure has, because, we need more of Stephanie McMahon shrieking and screeching as loud as she possibly can, getting on everyone's nerves as she always does, because that's her thing. But, no Hunter, no authority. No authority in any capacity right now, at least on camera, which means the number one heel faction of all time. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The authority, number one heel faction of all time. Right? Shut up. You're wrong. They are. But no sign of them. And we're just supposed to believe that Stephanie's going to be okay with that? Well, obviously not, because Triple H is waiting in the wings with the sledgehammer and the denim jacket. He's going to come back. He's going to lay out Shane. It's going to be ridiculous. And he might even get color. Shane might get color off this deal. Just hope it's not, capsule where he bleeds from the gut. I'm spitting out blood. Oh, my God. What a terrible thing. You saw Roman do it that night, right? Oh, it's terrible, dude. I mean, really, put that crap in a wristband. Put it in your... Dude's wearing a combat vest, right? He's wearing like the SWAT team gear. He's got pouches and pockets. He can't put it in there? Wow, really? That's crazy, man. You ever seen such a thing? Like Byron hands it to him. Here's your blood. Thank you. God, it's so retarded, man. I can't... retarded's a bad word. I apologize. But it's just ridiculous, man. There's no sense in that crap, but... I digress. But yeah, Shane's going to get laid out. And like we said before, if he's too smart to fall for it, either way, he's going to lose control. This whole thing is going to lead to, that's where I was going. It's going to lead to Shane versus Triple H for control, not only of Raw, but of the company. With Stephanie, a grinning, shrieking Stephanie, dressed up like something out of Mad Max, like she was at WrestleMania 32, screaming about how great her husband is. Well, there you go. So... it's going to happen, man. Shane versus... well, he might as well. He's already worked Undertaker. And speaking of Triple H, dude just signed a 3-year in-ring active wrestler contract. Isn't that great? 3 years. So let's do the math. At least the WrestleMania 35. Wow. Can you... really? Can you even imagine that? I'll say this. He's in amazing shape. He's in amazing shape. He is. He looks better than he's ever looked before with DX, after DX, when he first became the King of Kings and all that stuff. Dude looks outstanding. I mean, you can't argue that, right? WrestleMania 35. Craziness. Craziness, man. But yeah, he's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. The Authority's going to get back together. They're going to wreak havoc like they always have. With any luck, Shane will win a match. Shane's bound to win a match, right? Is Shane going to become the Sting of 2016 where he comes in and he loses every match? I don't know. That wasn't fair, was it? I'm sorry. That's how I feel. But, yeah, this whole thing is a sham. It's going to lead to Shane versus Triple H. Stephanie McMahon is doing her best to fool her brother. It's not going to work. I don't think it'll work anyway. But, you know, none of us are falling for it. When the fans don't fall for it, the characters shouldn't fall for it. Does that make sense? When the fans see it a mile away and they're screaming, it's like the horror movie. When you're in the horror movie, you're like screaming, don't open the door. Do not open the door. Do not open that door. Well, she shouldn't open the door. See what I'm saying? Because when she does, she's an idiot. Because if the audience knows what's going to happen, then the person in question has no business doing that act. No business. They just shouldn't, man. Because it ruins the plot. It ruins the flow. I mean, you're giving away, and the crowd's not into it. You got to change. The pace needs to change. The timing needs to change. Everything needs to change. Just saying, man. That's how it should be. But Shane versus Stephanie, man, and this thing's going to get ugly, nasty, and wicked really fast. SummerSlam is my prediction of when it's going to happen, the big Triple H versus Shane McMahon. Mr. McMahon, right? It's going to happen, in my opinion, and I think that's when you're going to see it all go down. How do you feel about this? How does the notion of Shane versus Stephanie, how's that hitting you right now? Because it's different. I mean, you know, it's different and it's not. It's different because we haven't seen this in a long, long time, so it feels fresh. It's not different because, hey, we've seen this before a long time ago, and it's stale. So you can be on one side of the coin or the other, man. Entirely up to you. But it's, I don't know, dude. I think that if anybody can make this thing work and make a ton of money off of it, it's Vince McMahon. If Vince McMahon can do it, God bless him. More power to him. Here's my problem. The McMahon family. It's all about them. Now ask yourself a question. Before you start bashing me, ask yourself a question. If you owned your own company, who would it be about? I'm just saying. If you owned your own company and you had, say, you get on TV, who would you hire as your would you hire a spokesperson or would you just do it yourself? Say, hey, man, I can get my face on TV. I can put my face on circulars, on daily ads or weekly sales papers, whatever it is, or a word of mouth on business cards or on the internet. That's my face, my business. My name's on the business. Bam, bam, there we go. Let's go. I will sink or swim. My business will sink or swim because of me. I'm the guy in charge. Well, Vince McMahon's no different. You see what I'm saying? The McMahon family is no different. They got to be in charge. It's their company. They don't know how else to run it. Otherwise, you're going to have Jack Tunney as president. Ridiculous figurehead that had no power. Like the Queen of England, Jack. Same idea, man. Same idea. So it's McMahon family's company. So you got to get used to the fact that McMahons are in charge. They're running the show, which means that they all want to fuss and fight and feud. It's time to play the feud. Brother, they're going to do it all the time. But guess what? They've decided that's what they're going to do again. Because this whole thing is going to come spiraling down at some point. And yes, sir, I said it before anybody else out there can say it. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets a lot better. Okay? Because these three in this family and the four including Triple H, it's not going to be pretty. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like I've seen it before. As I said, I feel like I've seen it before. I feel like I don't care. I feel like it's nonsense. And I feel like, God, here we go again. I can't stomach the idea of the McMahon family feud once again. I have a hard time doing it. I really, truly do. But you know what? That's what we're heading toward, man. That's what we're leaning toward. So when it happens, you heard it here first. You know it's going to happen. You guys are smart. I got a smart audience, man. I do. Because, man, I get emails. I get direct messages from my audience all the time asking me questions and stuff. And I do appreciate it, by the way. You guys know who you are. I've answered like 10 in the past week, so I really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me that you guys are reaching out like that. So thank you so much for that. But, you know, you heard it here first. That's the truth. This whole thing's going to explode. And it's going to be a powder keg when it blows up, man. I think you're going to see Shane like a ball of fire like he was, even more so when he first came back than at WrestleMania 32. You know, I don't know if you're going to see him jumping off Hell in a Cell anytime soon, but, you know, Shane McMahon is everyone's favorite. Do you want to know why? Because he's babyface Tom. That's not it. Stop it. Stop. He is everyone's favorite because people are sick of the authority. Strongest faction in the history of the business. Have I mentioned that? It's true. Name another faction to me right now. And if you know what, if there is one, I'll stand corrected, man. I got no problem coming on this show and the next episode admitting I was wrong. It's perfectly fine. But I've researched this. I can't find any. I'm talking about 3 years and counting, because it's going to be 3 years for them in August. And so you know they're going to be back together, right? I guess you could say the authority's not technically ended, has it? It's not been we drove the authority from power. If Hunter loses this match, the authority have to disband. They will give up control of Raw. Shane goes into control full power. Stephanie goes here. Hunter goes here. Goodbye. Okay? That's not been done yet. So, but technically, I guess you could say they're out of power right now. But nearly 3, all right, you say, fine, nearly 3 years straight. 3 years straight. You mean to tell me you can give me another faction that's operated for that long and cause this much havoc and cause as much sadness and terror and danger and terrible awfulness to everyone they ever come in contact with? Give me another one that's been as strong, has been as dominant for this period of time, other than the authority. I'll wait. Go. You're wrong. You're all wrong, because that's not the case. The authority are it. That's it, man. There's nobody else. I don't care. I'm talking about 3 years consistent. That's exactly what we're looking at. That's not going to change overnight. I just don't see that. It feels like it has now, and it's really awesome to not see the authority on TV kicking off every single Monday Night Raw with a 20-minute promo. It's nice. It makes me happy that that's not happening. That's old hat, man. I can't stand it. I don't like it now. I don't like it then. I'm not going to like it tomorrow. I'm just telling you, man. Straight up. Not my bag. And it's not a lot of people's bag out there, dude, because a lot of people complained. They're happy now. See what I'm saying? WWE's giving us what we want. God. Do not fall for that. Do not fall for that. Oh, my God. In heaven, do not fall for that. But this thing has a long way to go. It's just getting started. We've just seen barely the tip of the iceberg here. Shane versus Stephanie. It's going to happen. I'll be doing another podcast at some point when the bomb does fall out. Might call it Shane versus Stephanie Part 2 or whatever it is. I'll have to come up with something, man. But you'll get the point, right? You're listening. You're going to listen then, right? Keep coming back, dude. That's what we want you to do, man. Straight up, we want to hear from you. We want you to keep listening. We want you to keep doing your thing and keep coming back. And, it's all good. That's what we want from you. So that's what I'm looking at. And I know it's in the early stages. Nothing really has happened yet. The betrayal hasn't happened yet. But Shane's character's got to be kind of dumb as a rock right now if he's buying into this. So I don't think he is. I think he will in turn give a look to Stephanie maybe next week or whatever and say, you know what? I know what you're doing. It's not going to work. And if you've got your husband planning on doing something, you tell him it's not going to work either. And if he wants to come in, sneak attack, I'm ready for him. I would just go ahead and let it out of the bag because Shane's character is too smart to fall for this. Did you hear me? He is, or he should be. WWE should portray him that way anyhow. Seriously, man, be smart about it. But that's where this is going. And as I said, it's in the very early stages. We're going to have to stay tuned and see what happens. But that's exactly what's going to happen at some point. The other shoe will fall, as it were. And then you're going to see Shane's side versus Stephanie's side. Shane versus Triple H, winner take all at SummerSlam is my guess. And wouldn't it be fitting it would happen at SummerSlam, seeing as how that is where they given credit for the formation of the Authority, was at SummerSlam 2013. Perfect timing, right? Daniel Bryan, special guest referee. Wouldn't that be awesome? I mean, straight up, man. Wouldn't that be cool? I'd love to see that, man. I think that'd be great, really. But there you have it. That's what I got for you on that, okay? Now, let's get to some other WWE notes. I didn't say stuff, I said notes. Where's the Wyatt family? Anyone know? I have not scoured the internet to find out, but I'll give you my take. In my opinion, they may be working house shows. If they are, God bless them. If they are, great. I'll take this back. Not sure. That's why I'm asking you. What I'm telling you. Just to let you know. In my opinion, I believe, and I don't know this for a fact, I believe that maybe Bray was given some time concerning the death of his grandfather, the legendary late great Blackjack Mulligan, one of the best of all time. Loved me some Blackjack Mulligan. I grew up watching Blackjack, and he was always the coolest guy. I mean, for the era that I grew up in, I would have to say that, Blackjack was the Stone Cold for me because he was the cooler one. He looked different. He sounded different. He was cool. You know what I'm saying? He just had a great look, and he sounded great, and he worked good. He was a good worker. I mean, in my opinion, that would be what I would relate it to at the time. I mean, seriously. But yeah, the late great Blackjack Mulligan. Now, maybe I'm wrong about this, man. Maybe Bray's not been given anything. Like I said, maybe he's been working on house shows ever since. But they've been kept off TV. And the Wyatt family were used in the advertisements for Payback. There's still a banner on WWE.com for Payback. You click it, you get match results and stuff, and photos and videos and all that good stuff. And the Wyatt family's on the banner. Missing in action. Dufresne, Party of Three. What about the Dufresnes? Let's go find them. Mitch Hedberg. Go look him up. He's awesome. He was. God rest his soul. But, what about the Wyatts? Wyatt's Party of Four. Wyatt's Party of Four. They're gone. They're gone, man. So, I love Bray. Bray's awesome. I've talked to Bray on Twitter, direct message before. Bray's awesome. He's just... Can I be honest with you? WWE doesn't know what they're doing with him. They don't know what to do. They got their top guys set. They got their tag team division set. They got their women's division set. They got guys on a certain path, moving in a certain direction where they want. They don't know what to do with Bray Wyatt. They allowed Bray to come in and captivate the crowd, captivate the audience, and cultivate his character, and still hasn't reached full potential, in my opinion. Okay? Just me talking. But yet, they won't do anything with him. How do you get over in the side of a company that does give you the time, does give you the booking, does give you the TV time to get over? Shouldn't you have that? Straight up. You should have all of that in order to get over. Bray has none of it. For whatever reason, Bray has none of it. And I don't know why. I've not heard anything about Bray upsetting anyone. I don't know about Bray could be injured. He very well could be. Thank you very much for pointing that out to me. Bray could be injured. I don't know that. Maybe he is. Who knows? But, the point of the matter is that Bray Wyatt has a lot to offer. The Wyatt family have never been utilized properly unless you're talking about versus the Shield, where they could all get in the ring and do their thing, and they were most obviously the heels, and they were getting a good crowd reaction during that period of time. But they were still heels. So I'm looking forward to when the Wyatt family come back. So I'm going to see what they got for him. I'm hoping to God Vince has something for Bray. As I said before, I love me some Bray Wyatt. He's one of a kind. He's truly unique in this day and age. People want to compare him to Waylon Mercy. Would you stop? Would you stop? People can't let stuff go. The past is the past, man. I can compare people too. It doesn't make it right. Number one, you're not being fair to that talent. Number two, we've all heard it. You're not the first guy to say it. Oh, I know who he reminds me of. He's just like Waylon Mercy. Never heard of Waylon Mercy until you hit Google, or you saw somebody else post about it and you stole their thought. Shut up. I hate that crap. Think for yourself, man. Getting all Vaughn on you, aren't I? What other WWE news we got for you? The return of John Cena. John Cena on the May 30th edition of Monday Night Raw. That will be Memorial Day, by the way, folks. So go out and get your United States flags put up and your rebel flags and drink a ton of beer and yell and scream and shoot guns in your backyard. Hey, we're in the South. I'm just saying. That stuff kind of happens down here sort of all the time. That's kind of how people celebrate getting out of a speeding ticket. Or worse. Just saying. Bobby's home from prison. He's home from the county lockup. Let's get drunk and shoot guns in the front yard. Hallelujah. God bless America. Where was I? John Cena coming back to Monday Night Raw. Written columns about this one, too. How does John Cena fit in? You can find that on the Bleacher Report about my feelings on John Anthony Felix Cena. Is that right? John Felix? I don't know, something like that. He's got like a big long name. It's cool. Cena come back to Raw. How do you feel about it? We're talking about the new era. How does he fit in with the new era? Because John sure ain't new. See, here's the thing. With any other top guy in the history of that company, or a top guy, how many top guys have been as hated and despised as John Cena? Roman Reigns, sure, okay, you got me there. But I'm talking about consistently, dude, God almighty, man. For how long now? He's been like public enemy number one. That dude could come in and have the match of his life. He has had the match of his life during the past year, I think. Past few years, actually. Coming out of the match of his life and have every veteran that's ever laced up a pair of boots stand up, give him a standing ovation, and then take to social media saying, I bow to John Cena. And guess what's going to happen? Everybody and their brothers are going to spew forth hate the next day because that's how they are. I take John Cena to task on things that I think should be done better. And it's no disrespect. I never said I hated the guy. I still don't hate the guy. But, dude, get over yourself. Start working. Start, all the little things that a pro wrestler can do to get the match over, get himself over, get the company over. People say that John's working very hard. I don't dispute how hard he works. I'm just saying. You're John Cena. If you want to go in there and work a Flair versus Steamboat next time you get in the ring, do it. Don't let the company tell you can't do it. Seriously, put John versus Cesaro. I'd pay to see that. And just put on a clinic. Both of them. If I were John, I'd tell him, give me all you got. Don't hold back. And if he misses moves, he misses them. You see what I'm saying? I'm just telling you how it is, man. But that's exactly what I would do. John Cena coming back again. As we said before, or as we asked just now, really, where does he go from here? What does he do? How does he fit into the new era? Well, here's my answer. Everybody's going to job to John Cena. You hate that, don't you? Don't you hate that? Doesn't that just ruin your day? Because it ruins mine. Every guy in this new era that we're talking about, every one of them is going to job to John Cena at some point. I'm just being straight with you. They're already talking about Nakamura versus John Cena in Hawaii, I think they said. Hawaiian tour or something. You know what? I'm not going to doubt it. And I won't doubt it when John wins, because John wins all the time. And John wins all the time. John will kill your martyrs, okay? Slays your heroes. I'm telling you right now, it's crazy. Leaves him in a pile of ash. That's who he is. That's who he is, John Cena, man. And you can hate that all day long. You can get upset. You can get frustrated. Whatever the heck it is you want to do, you're not going to be able to change anything, because John is who John is, and John will always be John. That's it. And that's all. God bless. And get on out. That's the truth, man. John doesn't lose like that. John doesn't lose to, especially the guy that just got there, and John's got it in 10 plus years as the top guy of the company. He's not going to do it. So think about that, okay? John has not passed on any kind of torch at all. Talk to me about Roman. Talk to me about whoever you want to talk about. Talk to me about Punk back in the day. John didn't pass on anything. He didn't. John will continue to be the top guy as long as he's number one draw. When they find someone within that company, or without like outside that company, outside the company, till they can find someone to draw more money than John Cena, John will always be the top guy, and that's how it should be. So shut up and leave it alone. I've said that 100 times, man. I understand how the logic works. I understand why they do what they do. I'm just saying John Cena's, it just doesn't make any sense. A lot of stuff he says doesn't make any sense. At this point, John should be a bitter, cold-hearted heel, because he spent 8 of the 10 years basically getting booed out of the building. That's a big deal, right? They won't say a thing to him. They won't change him. They won't let him say anything to change the situation. They love him just the way he is. Makes no sense. That's what's not plausible. That's what garners him a lot of hate from the crowd. And they should. They should. It's crazy. Oh, my God. I don't know what's going on with that. But, we'll have to see. But John Cena's coming back. We'll see. We'll have to see what happens. I'm going to talk a lot more about this in other episodes. So stay tuned for that. But what else is going on? By the way, WWE's got some recent terminations among the names of the cursed that have been released. Sorry, curse, But, Hornswoggle was one. Santino Marella. I'll just butcher it like Lillian Garcia does every time, because he's, not American. So let's do that. Let's do that, because that's fun, right? Most notably, I'm on that list, actually, Damien Sandow. One of the saddest, most ridiculous, didn't have to happen stories in the history of that company, in my opinion. Is Damien Sandow. Damien Sandow could have been something. The crowd wanted this guy. This is yet another instance when the crowd wanted something and WWE said no. The crowd wants Roman to be healed, they hate Roman. The crowd wants John to be healed, they hate John. WWE's not budging on either guy, and they never will. Just let you know, they never will. WWE wanted Damien, and fans wanted Damien. And WWE said, here you go. 2-second promo, gets interrupted, loses the match. There you go. Congratulations, guys. Got what you want to. Be happy. We're going to fire him in 6 months. That's what he did. What's today, man? Let them for dead. You know what I mean? Damien's a good worker. Got a great, unique character. You're probably going to see him run a version of that character in TNA or Ring of Honor or maybe New Japan. They'll change it up. They'll change his name, the whole nine. And he'll go with something he can market and make some money off of, hopefully. But Damien's a sad case. It's ridiculous. It never should have happened. He had potential to become the top heel at some point. Maybe not top heel, maybe one of the top 3 heels in the company. Smarmy, confident, overconfident, egotistical, but had a great sense of humor as a heel. I love watching Damien talk on the mic, listening to him, and then watching him work in the ring, too, because he was never given the credit he so richly deserved. But, I say that. And if I'm being honest about it, yeah, he got credit because the fans wanted him. Fans praised him all the time, man. They did. As well they should. Because it was, Damien deserved it and then some. He didn't get his just due, and that's a shame. So hopefully he lands on his feet, which I'm sure he will. All the best to him. And hopefully we'll see him down the road. What else is happening in WWE right now? Which one to talk about? How about this? How about Dean Ambrose and the potted plant named Mitch? Oh my God. It's like something out of a Dane Cook stand-up, isn't it? I've been very critical of Dean for a long time because I've always said that Dean is one promo short or one line in a promo away from having me convinced he's a megastar. He hasn't done it yet. He has good matches with Jericho. He's a good worker. I'm not disputing any of that. But this thing where he goes, on Raw and he tears Jericho's coat off, and that's going to make me pop for him now? Like, what? He wasn't built. He wasn't profiled. He wasn't built up from the ground up, as it were. He was just kind of told, here it is, go do this. It's a shame. But, we'll see what happens. But, dude, and again, I apologize for the bouncing. I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about here. But, again, back to Dean real quick before we move on. I like the Dean versus Jericho thing. It's not over by a long shot. I want to see Dean become the strong number 2 in that company. He's not right now. But I want him to be, honestly, straight up. I really do. And we'll see what happens. Let's talk a little bit here about something else that is going on. Let's talk about the women's division. And Extreme Rules is coming up. And that's going to be fun because Charlotte will not have, excuse me, yeah, that's right. Charlotte will not have Daddy Dearest present when she defends Talia against Natalya. So that'll be fun. For any of you out there thinking Natalia's going to get the win, you're wrong. I think Sasha Banks is maybe going to interrupt the match and attack Charlotte or do something. They might cross paths backstage and Charlotte get her worked up. And it'll be like a devious heel plan. Get Charlotte worked up. Charlotte comes out and screws it all up. Charlotte and Natalya feud for a little bit. Charlotte wins the feud, goes on to beat Charlotte for the Women's Championship, SummerSlam. I love this division. I love the players in the division. I think they're doing a fine job. Charlotte, a lot of people criticize her for Rick, and I don't get that. I'm still not really getting that. I think they make a great team. It's supposed to be annoying. You're supposed to hate it. That's kind of the deal. So on that instance, I will agree with WWE. Just stop it. It's happened before. Be nice. Stop. But yeah, it's just I'm digging the feud, but Natalya's not going to win this belt. Not going to happen. This is Sasha's belt to win, and she's going to. I don't think they can push it long enough to wrestle. I mean, WrestleMania 33 still a ways off. I don't think they should wait that long. They definitely should not wait that long. Sasha deserves a title run. She deserves it right now, Jack. I'm just saying right now. Like yesterday she deserved it, man. She deserved it WrestleMania 32 when she didn't go over. Me and a lot of other people sat at home on our couch and went, what? She should have won. It was great. It was her moment. Now, she still had a WrestleMania moment regardless, but dude, she didn't win. She didn't go over. We wanted to see her with that belt. We still want to see her with that belt. That belt represents a lifetime of hard work and achievement being recognized by the company you're working for. In my opinion. That's how I think title belts should be handed out. I think they should be distributed among the talent is who is the most deserving. Who's been here, who's put the time in, who's getting it done, and then some. Who lights up the mic, who lights up the ring. Just saying. That's how I feel. So, having said all that, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that, man, we're getting close to the end. Isn't that fun? Isn't that something? I talk like crazy. We might even be close to an hour right now, but you know what? It is what it is. But I like to make this thing an hour. I usually do. Sometimes we go a bit over, which has been known to happen a time or two, or 12, whatever it is. But it is what it is. I will go ahead and start plugging the stuff, but don't go anywhere because I want to tell you a few things real quick right here. Leading off with Tom and Kyle's Comedy Action Hour. It's our sister podcast. I have to apologize in advance. We haven't recorded an episode since March, I think it is. Kyle and I are very, very busy people. In addition to running Boink Studios, producing the material we produce each and every day of the week for you fine people. We're also busy with other aspects of our lives, so that stuff takes up a lot of time and effort. And it really does. But we really want to get back on the show. We're going to. Heroes Con in Charlotte. If any of you are familiar with North Carolina or a comic book fanboy, as I am, thank you very much. Heroes Con in Charlotte the weekend of June 17th is going to be happening. And yours truly will be accompanying Kyle and a good friend of ours, Mick Ramsey. And as well as my kid will be going as well to the Heroes Con. We go every year. And we're going to record an episode of Tom and Kyle's Comedy Action Hour on the way there and on the way back. Isn't that great? Fun stuff, yes? I love it too. So be sure to stay tuned for that because the show will be on very soon. A third podcast is in the works, believe it or not. Isn't that funny? Like I got time for all this. I love this medium. This is by far, in addition to the writing, this is my favorite medium. This is my favorite thing to do as a pro wrestling journalist. As a fan, as a pro wrestling guy, I love to just talk about the business. I love to share ideas. I love to share opinions. This is kind of who I am and what I do. And that's what we're doing right now today. Hope you've had fun doing it, by the way. Because I've had fun doing it for you. I love the debate, right? But the podcast medium is my favorite because I don't do this live, obviously. I don't have to be on video. I could. We've talked about maybe putting the podcast on YouTube, maybe a live video podcast or, a video podcast at some point. Maybe we will. I don't know. We talked about doing Tom and Kyle's Comedy Action Hour video podcast. I don't know if we will or not. Stop asking me. I don't know. But we do have a third podcast in the works. I'm not going to tell you what it is right now. We're going to get some episodes in the can, and then we'll start bringing it to you. But I'm hoping for the best. Hope this thing works out because I do enjoy this medium. It's such fun and it's so easy to do. And we're trying to build our audience one podcast at a time. And to the audience, we will say thank you right now. I guess we always do. All the music that you've heard on this podcast, as well as Tom Kyle's Comedy Action Hour, is produced by Philip Fender. He works under the Boink Studios banner. If you want to use Philip in any capacity, he is available. Just drop us an email at boinkstudios@yahoo.com and we will get things worked out for you. We'll be back in touch with you soon. I promise you that. All the artwork that you can see on our website here on the podcast, on Tom and Kyle's Comedy Action Hour, the artwork that you see is provided by Kyle Smith himself. If you go to our website, it's tomclarkbr.wix.com/boink. All the artwork on that website, banners and all that good stuff, the banners on Twitter, as well as our Facebook page, all of that's provided by Kyle Smith himself. He is one great artist doing a massive job, and we do appreciate him as always. He's the co-owner of Boink Studios, as it were, so he's the man. So let us know if you want to hire him. Again, he's available as well, boinkstudios@yahoo.com. If you'd like to follow us on Twitter, of course, we are at Boink Studios, our Facebook page of the same name as well. If you'd like to follow me on an individual basis, I would love that. I'll follow you back. Tom Clark BR on yahoo.com. That's me. That's my email. You can follow me on Twitter, of course, at Tom Clark BR. I do have my own Facebook page. It's all just posts and random Facebook stuff. If you'd like to, just look me up, Tom Clark. There's like 40 of us. I'm the best looking one there. That's the truth. Straight up. If you'd like to know where to read my material, by the way, all the stuff on the Boink site, all the columns and stories and all that stuff is, of course, 100% real stuff and genuine, 100% mine, created by yours truly. It's all created for the website. Nothing's taken from anywhere else. We don't copy and paste. We are not that kind of website. We are a production company, and we produce, baby. That's what we do. If you would like to read my stuff in other locations, again, you can find me on Bleacher Report. Been going 6 years strong there. Really happy with the gigs. Some great writers, some great people at the BR. We hope you enjoy it as well. You can also find me on the critically acclaimed Camel Clutch blog, as well as Sportskeeda. I'm in all three places and other places too. Like we just told you, I'm everywhere, Jack. I got my own blog, tomclarkbr.wix.com/blog, so please go check me out there. Believe it or not, I think that's it. Isn't that fun? You just plug all day, man. You spend 10 minutes of the podcast plugging your stuff. That's how we extend the show. See, it wasn't an hour, it is now. Bam, there you go. Always find the back door. That's what they say. I'm the back door man. I'm like the blues song, right? I am the back door man. This is starting to get weird, isn't it? I'm tired. What can I tell you? But that's it for me, man. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. Please come back real soon. Episode number 53 will be on the way soon. Please go check out all the links, all the blogs, and all the shows and other stuff we got going on. We do appreciate your support as always. Please come back real soon. We'll be back with another episode before you know it. This has been episode number 52 and more to come. Thanks once again for joining us, and we will see you next time on Tom Clark's Main Event.